Thank you for joining me for today's talk for your walk with Bridget Lynch. I am so glad that you are here. I'm telling you that it's been a while. It's been a minute since I recorded solo. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I've got to post something very soon. And so I have just been praying and seeking after God and what he wants me to share with you. And the thing that he dropped in my heart, even this morning, as I've been facing some challenges and some struggles myself. And the line that was dropped in my heart was, don't carry your past into your future. Oof. I was like, yeah, I've been working on that. But I don't know about you, but there are moments when I realize that I'm carrying those things still. And I'm like, Lord, why? Why am I carrying those things? Why do they keep resurfacing? And here's what I want to encourage you with. And this is the kind of work that I do within my community with the women that I get to coach, that I have the privilege and honor of coaching. And I get to walk hand in hand and arm with through their healing journey. The things that we have to do are things that we need to do for ourselves so that we can be a better version of who God created us to be for the people that God brings into our lives. And so, when you're carrying your old stuff in your backpack and that stuff's heavy, right? Think about someone that you've seen with a backpack that's just like, you think if you unzipped it, everything would fall out, right? Like, have you seen people with those kind of backpacks? I have. And I look at that and I go, gosh, that must be heavy, right? Or maybe you have kids and they have a lot of stuff in their backpack and you're like, hey, you want to let some of that weight out? Because that seems pretty heavy, pretty bad for your back. Think about that analogy for our own lives. What kind of stuff are you carrying around, even from your past, and you're carrying it over into your future? And you are affecting the people that God has brought into your life, right? That's a way of blocking your blessings. Like if you are bringing stuff from your past into your future and you still process things and look at things through the lens of the past and the lens of the trauma and the lens of the abuse and the lens of the divorce, the lens of, the cheating or the relationship gone bad or whatever it is, you name it, the loss of a job, the loss of a person, whether by death or just relationally, whenever you're carrying that around and you're looking at things through that lens, you are bringing your past into your future. And while I know personally, and by helping and coaching and mentoring and leading other women and people over the years, while I know that it's not good to do that, I also know it's very difficult to walk through and discuss and talk about the things that you went through because you have to relive them. And I know it's so hard. When I was going through the court system after what happened with my ex-husband, I had to do 3 different depositions. And I don't know if you know that process, but the process of a deposition is so intense. Mentally, emotionally, it's very intense because you have to relive what you went through. And I had to go through 3 of those. And I've had people ask me, how did you get through that? Did you take medication? I'm like, no, I didn't. I just prayed a whole lot. And I talked, I went to counseling and I talked to a lot of people that had wise counsel outside of my counselor. And I prayed a lot. I had people praying for me. I had people linking arms with me. They were in it with me. And those are the type of people you want to hold on to. The one person that I can recall, there's a couple of people that I can recall that were there during some of the most difficult times of my life. One being my husband, who I am so grateful for. The other 2 are really good friends I'm still friends with to this day. And my own mother is, my mother, but also one of my good friends as well. Sorry for the noise. My dog is over here seeking attention. So, because, golden doodles can never have enough attention. So back on track here. But, I want you to hear that, I want you to take care of yourself. Whenever we allow the trauma to come over into our future, we have done actually a disservice to ourselves and the people God brings into our path. And I want you to take care of yourself. And let me give you a couple of ways to take care of yourself. And I know there's a lot of conversation about self-care and what that means and how there's a negative connotation to it sometimes, but I'm talking about truly taking care of yourself in the light and the truth of God's word, okay? Because if we don't get into the word and we don't get the word into us, then we can't renew our heart and allow Jesus to penetrate those areas with his light and his love that need to come out. I've mentioned this on a couple podcasts over the years, but I've read an allegory years ago, and the book is just incredible. I probably will never get rid of it. It'll probably be 20 years down the road. I'll still have it. But it's called Hind's Feet on High Places. Hind's Feet on High Places. And in the allegory, the main character's name is Much Afraid. And she goes through these series of things, learning about how Jesus needs to get into her heart. The Good Shepherd needs to get into her heart so that he can toil out those things, till out those things that are just causing so much ache and fear and different things. And so it's a beautiful story of how she gets to, really kind of the promised land. And the promises that God has for her specifically. And God has promises specifically for you. And so maybe you've watched someone else go through something similar and you're like, how come I'm not there? I get it. I get it, friends. I get it. But I'm going to tell you that your walk is just that. It is yours. And God did not bring you here to leave you here, right? He didn't put you through that situation and leave you there. He got you through it, and now you're on the other side where you have to heal from it. And it's hard, but we can do hard things when we have Jesus, because he has conquered all things. He has overcome all things. In John 16:33, it's one of my favorite scriptures. It says, in this world, you will have trials and tribulations or troubles, depending on the version that you read. But in this world, you will have trials, but to take heart, because I, Jesus, have overcome the world. The world, you guys. Not only did he create it in the beginning with God, but he overcame it. And so anything that you're facing, God's got you, okay? And so a couple of tips to take care of yourself, because the people that God brings to you need you. There are people in this world that need you. And I know you're probably like, nobody needs me. Yes, they do. That's why you're here. And your plan for your life was created long ago, before God even formed you in your mother's womb. He chose you, and called you and set you apart and put a purpose and a plan in you and put you on this earth. So yes, you are very much needed. That's why you're here. And so I want you to read the word and get the word in you, okay? And get Jesus and a counselor if you need to, okay? That's what I did. That's what I've done for a long time. I actually just scheduled another counseling session. I scheduled a counseling session for my husband and I, because we're having some communication stuff going on. And I'm like, we need a third party here. We need a third party. Like, everything is great. We love each other. It's fantastic. But life is hard, you guys. There are things that we go through that are hard. So get a counselor or get someone that you can talk to. Get into a community. I have a community that I will work with you on. Right now, I have a founding member special, and it's only $29 a month. And you can get a coaching session with me once a week. And you're probably thinking, this coach is offering coaching sessions and she's in counseling? Yeah, because coaches need a coach, and coaches sometimes need a counselor. And it's okay. The greatest counselor is Jesus Christ. But sometimes we need someone here on this planet, right? So hear me when I tell you that it is okay. Like, I would rather go to someone that is seeking help from a counselor or another coach than to go to someone that thinks they know everything and they're just going to teach you that way. No, I've been through some stuff, and healing from anything you've been through, and trauma is something that affects everyone. People have a hard time with the word trauma, but it affects everyone. And so hear me when I tell you that you have been through something, and that something may be affecting you right now in your future or in your future, right? This kind of is, we're present, but you're moving into the future. So we're not going back, guys. Okay. So we don't want to carry that stuff with us. All right. So, get the word in you. If you're not sure where to start in the book of John. John is a great place to start. In the in the New Testament, the book of John, it's a great read, and it's about the life of Jesus. Now, if you need kind of a Cliff Note version of the Gospels, then go to Mark, okay? You'll get the Cliff Note version in Mark, okay? The chapter of Mark. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, okay? So get the word in you. And then journal. Oh, I can't stress that enough. I have so many journals in my house. Like, I couldn't even tell you how many I have. So keep one by your bed. This is something that I need to do. And every time I lay down, I go, shoot, that journal is over there that I keep meaning to bring from there to here. And, kind of brain dump some stuff. I know I laid down the other night and I had so much stuff in my head. I'm talking to my husband and he's like, babe, go to sleep. I'm like, I can't go to sleep. So I had to write some stuff down. I actually had to type it out on my phone because my journal was across the room. I don't like using my phone after a certain time because you got to prepare yourself for bed, right? All right, let's wrap this up, Bridget. You talk a lot. Okay. So take care of yourself by getting Jesus in you, right? So read the word, get the word in you, journal, sleep well. We're just talking about that, right? Brain dump some stuff and then lay down and close your eyes and thank Jesus that you have a bed to sleep in. Okay. Do that. All right. And then when you wake up in the morning, thank him for having breath in your lungs. Okay. And then eat right, guys. All right, I could spend a lot of time on this, but I'm just going to tell you that if you feel lousy, take a look at what you ate yesterday, okay? And I know I fall into this too. I'm a very healthy fanatic of exercise and fitness and eating right and eating healthy and eating your greens and all this stuff, right? But I do fall into this trap sometimes, okay? And I'll eat something, I'm like, I feel so lousy. Okay, well, Bridget, it's because you ate lousy. So, all right, get the word in you, journal, sleep well, eat right. There's more to come. Thank you for joining me, and I can't wait to talk to you next time.